Did Logan Paul just admit that an idol he had on his property cursed him? In his recent conversation with Cliff Mitchell, Logan Paul opened up about some recent conversations he had regarding his real issue with Christianity and how it indirectly connects to the Japan incident. But before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan. This channel exists to encourage, empower, and inspire you to live a life that blesses God. If you're new here or if you're not new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button as we are on the cusp of reaching 600,000 subscribers, and I would love to celebrate that with you. All right, let's jump into the video.
This is a qualm I have. This is where I think if again,
this is where you got heated.
I harbor resentment for certain parts of organized religion that make people either exclude others or lead to hatred and dispute, rage, feud. And in this particular podcast, actually, I had a moment where I was like mocking religion and Jesus in general. And by the way, the next 3 months of my life were hell. like literally, I felt the wrath of God like instantly.
And I just sit there and watch.
And I'll never do.
Dude, I can't help you.
And I'll never do it again.
Wow.
And then by the end of it, I had like it wasn't like a come to Jesus moment, but he definitely gave me guidance in a time where I needed guidance. Anyways, that was a verbal outpour of like a level of resentment that I felt for certain parts of, particularly in that scenario, Christianity, that I just didn't agree with. I'll be honest here. I don't love the sort of like exclusive club feeling. Oh, you can get into heaven if you believe in Jesus, but everyone else is doomed. I don't love that, right? Because there are people who have the same amount of faith in their religion as you guys do in yours, who are putting their time, effort, energy, investing their whole lives into believing in a deity. And like, according to you guys, you know, they won't end up in a place that is paradise, even though they're leading a great life and have a great moral compass. Even just like, you know, the whole like gay marriage thing, like, I correct me if I'm wrong, right? But according to Christianity, like gay marriage isn't allowed to be a thing. And I know there's a lot of circumstances of like a gay child being resented and even alienated from their family because they have super religious parents, and I hear those stories and like I hurt for those people because a decision is being made based on a set of beliefs
he's speaking on behalf of the culture right now. Like he really is speaking on behalf of the culture. So this is good.
Yeah,
because sometimes these conversations don't happen. And so I'm really curious how Cliff navigates this, because these are the top oppositions. It's yeah, Jesus, cool guy, but like, what about my gay friend? Yeah, Jesus, cool guy, what about my Muslim friend? Yeah, Jesus, cool guy, but what, right? These are the practical oppositions that many people deal with. So let's see what happens here.
That people are so bound to, but then they throw the love aside for someone in their family.
Yep.
And that kind of bothers me.
Sure. But remember, Logan, the legitimacy of faith is not determined by passion. If you're passionate about thin ice on a lake, I really believe this thin ice is going to hold me up. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You walk out on that thin ice, you're going through, sir.
Yeah.
So the legitimacy of faith is determined by the trustworthiness of the object of your faith.
Oof.
If it's thick ice and you believe just a little and you step out on that ice, it's going to hold you up. You see, remember, I'm not going to heaven because I'm passionate. No. I'm a dirty, rotten sinner. Christ died on a cross for me. I have put my faith in him. I doubt, man. I sin every day. I am no perfect human specimen. I'm a dirty, rotten sinner. That's who I am.
Wait, Cliff, you keep saying that, but like I don't know you that well, right? So in my head, you're like painting a picture of someone that I just don't believe you are. Is that you being humble? Are you like are you actually like a dirty, rotten sinner?
Probably all right, might be different.
That's hilarious.
So no, this is an important distinction, because Cliff is saying two different things. Logan is like, what do you mean? Like, what are you saying? Like, you're like, are you like womanizing? Are you right? Like, he's thinking about like all the big sins.
Your shirt's tucked in. How bad can it get?
Yeah, how bad can you really be? What Cliff is getting at is the undergirding of the subtle sins. Like, you can get saved and God can work out all the big things in your life, but there's still those undergirding. There's still that stuff in the heart. There's still those conflicting motives. There's still those thoughts. There's still that language. So what Cliff is not saying is like, I'm Diddy.
Yeah.
Cliff is not saying I'm Diddy, Logan. And Logan's like, well, I'm not as bad as Diddy. I mean, I just, that's not what's being discussed, right? So
Cliff is like, by the way, I'm Diddy.
Yeah, that's not where this is going. Cliff is saying that when you measure sin we always look at the big things, right? But sin isn't just, did you commit adultery and did you kill somebody? Did you traffic somebody? Sin is like, well, what about all the good? This is like, that's sins of commission. You're breaking the overt commands of God.
Yeah.
But then there's sins of omission, which is like, here are all the things you should have done that you didn't do. Here are the things that God called you to do that you didn't do. Then there's like the sins of your language and your speech and being critical and being irritable and being right. Then there's like your thought life, which is like, holy moly, like who is pure in their thought life? Then there's the motives behind the good things that you do. So when you really go down that line, yes, in Christ Jesus, we're declared righteous. We are the righteousness of God because Jesus takes our sin on the cross and then imputes his righteousness to us. That is a beautiful picture. But we know, if you're sober, you know that at the heart of hearts, like all of us still have things that God is continuing to work on. So that's where I think Cliff is going to go. I don't know where Cliff is going to go, but that's how I would think about that specific question.
Yeah.
It comes down to how you define sin. No,
Yeah.
I have never, not even dated, but I have lusted. No, I have never murdered anybody, but I have
Anyway, it
hated.
doesn't matter.
No, I have never brought a whip down on the back of a black slave, not once. But I, as a white American, have had subtle racist attitudes. No, I don't live an incredibly opulent life, but I have been greedy. So I'm not this wonderful person that I wish everybody would believe that I am.
Fair.
I am a sinner. That is why I need Christ. Now, remember, it's not about my passion. It's not about my sincerity. That's the key issue when it comes to faith. It's about the reliability of the object of my faith. And you know that. If you trust a criminal, he's going to rip you off. If you trust a reliable person,
Crypto Zoo has entered the chat.
Jeez.
He knows
Is that what that was?
I don't
Was
think
that a shot at Crypto Zoo and him hiring a criminal? Is Cliff watching CoffeeZilla videos on the side?
I think Logan Paul accidentally walked into a Cliff morality parallel on accident.
My gosh.
Oh man, Logan Paul knows Cliff's metaphors firsthand.
Wow. Go ahead.
that's good. Now, here's where it really gets tricky. Let's be a skeptic, right? Let's doubt. Okay, let's start right in here in this room. I doubt you and I doubt you.
I doubt me too.
All right.
I think I doubt him.
Now, there's nothing wrong with
I
doubting.
doubt myself enough for all of us.
Exactly. Okay. But I can push that too far. I can get to the point where I say, in spite of the evidence that you two guys are reliable, I'm not going to trust you. I'm going to be a hyper skeptic. Skepticism is good. But when it turns into hyper skepticism, watch out. Why is it so dangerous?
Yeah, why?
Because I'll never have the privilege of being your friend. If I'm always skeptical about you, if I'm always doubting you, I will miss my friendship with both you and him.
That's an extreme. You know, you like hyper skepticism.
Right.
Sure,
I don't know if it's as extreme as you think. This is the person I was describing before. I'm so smart because I question everything. The issue with these people is you provide absolute proof that their questioning is leading them down the wrong path, and they're still unwilling to accept that as a proof point.
Hyper skepticism, sure, but like
becoming more prevalent.
Just to question and doubt and not accept everything you see at face value as truth. I don't think.
Jesus said you better do that.
Oh, he did?
He said, beware of false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing. Inwardly, they are ferocious wolves, and they will eat your lunch.
Okay, let me tell you something about what you just said.
Mhm.
And this is where a portion of that resentment started to grow. I had a person very close to me tell me that mistake that I referenced earlier happened because I had a statue of Buddha in my backyard.
He's talking about his Japan.
Yeah. I know where he's going. I know he's talking about Japan, but who told him that?
I don't know. That's
It's about
crazy.
George, or who's he talking about?
I don't know.
Took me aside and said, I know why all this bad stuff has been happening to you, and I know why Japan happened. I said, please tell me, like, what do you know? And he looked at this statue, giant Buddha statue, and he said what you just said. He said something about punishing those who worship false prophets, false idols, something like that.
This getting
And
murky.
in that moment, I thought that was so just bizarre and also kind of like distasteful to everyone who puts their life in the belief of Buddha and Buddhism. It was like a first like tip off to me, like, okay, I don't know if I'm willing to subscribe to like a religion that is alienating an entire belief system, or even just because I have a statue in my backyard. And
Yeah, I don't think you should have a Buddha.
Yeah.
But to connect that to Japan happening, unless we're missing something.
It's also like it's like negating personal responsibility. Like Japan happened because you did what you did in Japan.
Yeah, because you were a weirdo in Japan.
Yeah. You went to a suicide forest and thought it was funny to film a dead body. Like
Right.
there was a lot of steps involved in that. That wasn't a Buddha statue.
Yeah.
Your plane didn't crash. It wasn't bad luck.
Right. Huh.
intuitively, I felt like it was just so ridiculous. Like how could I then subscribe to this one religion, right? Because that in itself is intolerance. No?
There's no way that anybody knows that because you have a statue of Buddha in your backyard, this horrible thing happened to you. That's total presumptuous. It's false.
It didn't happen to him.
Nothing happened.
Cliff, nothing happened to him. Maybe Cliff isn't familiar with the story.
I think Cliff is just running with Logan Paul's language, which is like, I know why all this happened.
Like it just
Did we get rid of it?
I think so.
It even said it in the thing, I know why Japan happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they got rid of it. They got rid of the statue.
We tried to give it to Russell,
Russell
Brand.
Brand. He said no.
He said no.
And then I think some.
Hold on. Logan,
he tried to
Logan, if Russell Brand, pre-Christ Russell Brand is telling you, I am not taking the Buddha statue,
maybe it was the Buddha
maybe
statue.
whoever told you that Japan happened because of the Buddha statue was right. I'm just saying, Russell Brand, this is coked out.
Russell Brand's like, I can't take your cursed Buddha because it's not the Buddha that the whole cultures have followed. It's a Buddha that you have perpetually used as your own god.
If Russell Brand is like, no, bro, just maybe,
Dude, that's crazy.
just maybe.
Just
And then
maybe.
more and still fucking sucks.
It's ridiculous that he said that.
I-
I'm sorry he said that to you.
No, I definitely thought. I was like,
Sorry to say that to you.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.